am Dutch. I am in or around Denver, and this is your daily dose for February 1st. We made it to February. Um, let's see. Oh, Black History Month. Can't wait to hear about that all month. Boo doo 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 doo. Big podcast today. I think last time we almost went an hour. We got some hate mail from some of the hate listeners. I think Dave's turning into a hate listener, but it's just because he's wrong. But hey, guys, big news. Depending on how you look at it. Sean Payton. Too late, Gypsy. Already. Sean Payton is the new coach of the Denver Donkeys. Okay. And couple things. The amount of Denver sports insider assholes that were so unbelievably wrong about this entire process is hilarious to me. All of the insiders who were supposed to know everything and blah blah blah, they were so wrong and so far off. It's not even funny. It is hilarious to me. Fucking upside down headphones because he doesn't want to mess his hair up. Ben Albright, that guy wasn't right about a single thing. Now, even the national media was way off, which I think I'm cool with, man. Like, I'm good with the Penners just having like Greg Penner just having like one dude he talks to, and that guy keeps his mouth shut. I'm good with it. I liked it. I think it's funny that all these so-called insiders didn't know what the fuck was going on, and now they all look like idiots. Now they are backtracking, and they're like, blah, 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 and people are forgiving them because, again, we're all morons. But man, that was cool. I bravo to Broncos ownership for keeping that way, way deep down. And then all of a sudden it turns out that we did maybe get the best candidate. Now we're in a state of bliss where every Broncos, not every, but most Bronco fans look, oh yeah, we're gonna win Super Bowl, blah blah blah. We still have some big problems that I'm not sure that Sean Payton can fix. I don't think he can fix the Kardashian who plays quarterback for us. And I know I call him Russell Kardashian, and I'm going to stop doing that though, because those people are actually successful. He's just a little bitch. So I don't know if he can fix Russ. I don't think Russ wants to be fixed, honestly. Again, I think he just wants to build his brand, milk some more money out of the Broncos, and fade away into like some Wimbledon box. That's honestly what I think of him. Um, I don't think he gives a shit anymore. Sean Payton might reignite that. I doubt it. And I hate to be Debbie Downer, but I'm a realist. Okay. Also, we have huge problems on the offensive line. I don't know how he's gonna fix that unless he's got better players or a better way to coach bad players. We'll see. I don't think we have great running backs. So we're kind of screwed there too. Unless we get some where he has a better way to coach bad people. I also think that our receivers are a bunch of pussies. Well, Jerry Judy's so good. That guy's hurt every other play. Okay? So unless he has a better way to coach him to not be some glass loser, we'll see. Sutton hadn't been around a lot. He got that contract and kind of disappeared. There's probably some others that I can't think of because I don't know who the fuck they are. Um, yeah. So that's all in the offense. Defensively, um, they quit or they suck. Like I said earlier, either way, really bad look. Um, so I don't know, man. People are talking like Fangio might come back as the DC, and that he doesn't get along with some players and they might leave or want out if he's there. I don't know. I say fuck him. If Fangio's really that good of a DC, fuck those players. We can get new ones. Trust me, we don't have anybody on our defense that's like once in a lifetime. We can, if he's that good of a DC and he can scheme well, we can afford to dump them. And like I said, they're quitters. So, what Dutch when you quit? No, man, I'm getting paid millions of dollars. I'm sorry, and I'm not a quitter. So that's what I saw, and I could be wrong, and I'm sure that a bunch of you are right, and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I've just watched these guys fuck around for 36 years. Yeah, I didn't move from out of state and blah blah blah, and I don't have rose-colored glasses on like a moron. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm excited for the future. I really hope Russell Wilson's not part of it. I do not like him, and that's probably my own bias coming out, but I do not like him. I think he's a loser. Okay, so last time we talked about the NFL being rigged, and now I think it started with Arian Foster. Is he came out today on some stupid podcast and was like, "Oh yeah, man, we get our scripts," and he sarcastically said it was scripted. And then a bunch of ex players have jumped on and done the same dumb thing. Okay, so when I say the NFL is rigged, I don't mean that you guys get a script because it's real hard to rig a team sport. Because you got to get all 22 guys, or you got to get all 56 actually, and you got to get all the coaches and everybody on board with it. Okay? What I'm saying the NFL does is they say to the refs, hey man, it'd be super nice if the Chiefs won, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And I honestly believe that the refs play favorites. Okay? Mahomes gets calls that other quarterbacks don't get. Um, the Chiefs hold on every single play. And I don't mean like a little holding. I mean like a chokehold. And they don't call that. Okay? I think Tom Brady got special treatment. Now, this is a new thing with all the rules and stuff that have changed. But I absolutely believe certain teams get special treatment. And I don't know if it's conscious or subconscious. I really think it is conscious that the NFL says to these refs, hey man, it'd be real nice if, also if this game was competitive or something like that. So while the players may not be in on it to the extent that they have a script, because that's stupid, and while your sarcasm has been acknowledged, come on. Nobody believes it's like WWF. But I do believe the NFL has a hand in who wins and loses to an extent. Okay? And as for the Chefs Bungles game, I think the refs took their job of calling favorites a little too far and it became a little more obvious. Because the Bungles clearly are the better team. And they just got hosed by the refs. I mean, the Mahomes play that, he went out of bounds and was late hit. If you look close and now it's coming out, he actually tripped over himself, in my opinion, and was kind of barely touched. So it's a little bit more of a flop than a late hit. Now, if you're going to say it was a late hit because he was touched out of bounds, fine. You better call that for everybody. Because there was a couple, I think the week before, that Mahomes got like breathed on and they threw a roughing the passer. And then Sunshine got drilled and they didn't call a thing. So, again, it's not fixed like scripted, but I do think that the refs are in on it. Okay? And I also think that teams know it. I don't know if they are told it or they just notice it. because Mahomes wouldn't be doing half the dumb shit he does if he was getting fair treatment. No other quarterback, like does shovel passes and random things and these dumb trick plays that the gimmicky Chiefs do. And let's face it, the Chiefs are a fucking gimmick. Okay? They're absolutely a gimmick. They're the one of the few teams, maybe the only one, that collectively has a national commercial. Okay, they've got Mahomes in on it. They've got Andy Reid in on it, and it's the insurance nerds. Okay, so clearly they're the darlings of the NFL right now, and anyone who plays them is not going to get a fair game. The people who play them just need to beat them enough that the refs can't affect the game, like the Bungles did, and then it became obvious, and that's why people are pissed. I'm not going conspiracy theory on you, but I'm saying kind of like today where there's an Eagles offensive lineman who's being indicted for like rape and kidnapping. Um I'm not, again, not conspiracy theory, but it's just odd how it happens now. Now, if this just is a coincidence that this is when they got the grand jury together and they got this all through, fine. But if this comes out that this shit happened like 10 years ago, ooh. And also, he's not allowed to play in the Super Bowl, which I don't necessarily have a problem with, because if there's a rule in the NFL like, hey man, if you're federally indicted, you can't play whether you're innocent or guilty. We just don't want that problem. Fine. But we'll see. Because I mean, on paper, the Eagles should kill the Chefs, and we'll see what happens. Let's see. Tom Brady retired again. I don't care, man. I'm sorry. I know he's got a bunch of rings and stuff, but he also was part of two cheating scandals. Deflate Gate and them filming people. So fuck you. And you destroyed your entire home life because you wanted to go play one more year with Tampa Bay and get into the playoffs with a losing record and then lose to the Cowgirls. So I don't really care. Yeah, he's got 6 Super Bowls. I think they're tainted just because, I mean, other teams aren't accused of cheating. People are like, what about the Broncos Caps? That's not cheating, man. That's cap stuff. That's not cheating. Okay? That's not affecting the game. Well, they have better, but different. We can talk about that later. But yeah, I mean, you were part of two cheating scandals and nothing happened to you. Um as for, Sean Payton actually is part of a scandal, that the headhunt shit. He was paying players to, and I think that's a case of everyone does it, they just got caught. And it doesn't really concern me. I think that, hey, somebody, Mark or Mike Kisla is a Denver reporter for football and I think other sports, and someone made like a fake Twitter account about him and said that the Broncos interviewed Chucky, John Gruden, for those of you who don't know. And I mean, obviously, it's fake, but thinking about it, I'm not opposed to that. I think that John Gruden is a great coach, whether you like him or not, because he looks like Chucky. Um, but he got blacklisted because he said some true things, and people are pissed about that. I would have taken John Gruden over Sean Payton. I think John Gruden's a better coach. There, I said it. He's just blacklisted because he said some true things, like I'm tired of the NFL pushing this racist crap. Yeah. So best of luck to the Broncos. I will watch with whatever capacity I can. Um, but if you guys start sucking again, like I think you might, unless we make some big moves, and then we'll talk about that down the road. But I'm not sure that it's going to get turned around this year. And if it doesn't, you got to get rid of Russell Wilson. That idiot Albright, he made one good point. Well, actually, we'll say it's two. But the main question is in the interview process is A, how are you going to fix Russell Wilson? And then B, what if that plan doesn't work? I think those are the most important questions. So he was right about that. Completely wrong about who they were asking it to, but I think that's an excellent point. Like, how are you going to fix Russell Wilson? Because he fucking sucks, okay? And it wasn't always the coach, okay? There are many passes he threw that just weren't even fucking close, and decisions he made that were terrible, and so on and so forth, okay? So it's not only the coach, it's him. You know, we'll see if he plays in preseason this year. That's probably part of it too. You can't really be thrown into an NFL season without any fucking practice because you didn't want to, you didn't play in preseason, and then during all the training camp, were at the Wimbledon and doing everything but football. So we'll see how that works out, man. Like I said, I hope they're good. I'm tired of watching us lose, and I'm tired of being fucking embarrassed and all that stuff. All right, moving on. You guys know that my job on here is to piss you off, right? That's basically my sole goal here is to make you angry. Well, this time I think I found something that is going to piss off a bunch of people. There's a story going around that there's a streamer, okay? And a streamer like on Twitch or something, okay? Who accidentally alt tabbed, and I don't know if you guys know what alt tabbing is, but if you do that, it shows all the windows you have open. And it so happens that he had a window open that was to a pornography site that was deep fakes of other streamers, female streamers. Okay? Female streamers who don't have an OnlyFans. And I'm going to use that as a general umbrella term because there are many female streamers on Twitch that do have an OnlyFans, that do sex work, we'll call that. Okay? But this was a site that was the female Twitch streamers that did not have OnlyFans, that were not sex workers, that they had these deep fakes. I guess, I mean, you know what deep fakes are, right? You can, like, I don't know, AI generate someone and make them do things. Uh-oh. What is going on with the our stream, man? Oh, this says it's good. This says it's not. So this is breaking up, damn it. This is a good part too. Okay. So there are some, like I said, this guy got caught doing, this is also being recorded, so I'll repost it if it's all messed up. This guy got caught looking at this website, okay, of streamers who were not sex workers. Okay? Not a great look. Now, the fallout has been these particular streamers, and I'm not going to say any names because A, I'm not entirely sure about them, and B, I don't care because it doesn't help my point. It doesn't hurt it either. But the streamers that he was looking at who are not sex workers are complaining that they are being sexualized without their consent. Okay. Let's unbox that. I hate to break it to you, internet and people, but many people are sexualized without their consent. That, I think, is an inherent male female kind of thing. For instance, if I go to McDonald's and I see a pretty girl and later I think about kissing her, I am sexualizing her without her consent. But that's again kind of how it works. If I'm at a bar and Susie sees me from across the bar and thinks I'm a good looking man and imagines, you know, us on a date or something and the date goes further, that's sexualizing me without my consent. That happens all the fucking time. Even if you're a sex worker. Now, are we making the argument that if you post nudes online or even in a magazine, that you're consenting to being sexualized by everyone who has access to that? I don't know. That's kind of a slippery slope because I would imagine there are some people that do post pictures that do not want to be sexualized by a rapist, but he paid the $5 for your OnlyFans and he got it. Or she, I don't know, me, female rapist. But, and this is again, everybody's gonna be super pissed about this, but I think being sexualized without your consent is something that happens all the time. The difference is now you know about it and now you're pissed because there's we've played this game on this podcast before, the Ask the Internet thing. That's like, hey man, would you want, and I don't remember the exact question, but would you want like your girlfriend or someone to know like who you're thinking about when you're jacking off? Or would you want your mother to know? Something silly like that. Well, in that act, you're sexualizing that person. And as long as it's in your head, it appears that no one gives a shit. But as soon as there's evidence of it, people are pissed. Kind of like maybe in high school. You had a crush on some girl that you may or may not have thought about in maybe not the nicest of what well in a sexual way. You sexualize that person without their consent. They just didn't know about it, so it wasn't a problem. But now that they know about it, it becomes a problem. And it's a fine line. I get it. I absolutely do. Um, but, and I know everything you say before but is wrong or a lie, but are you not, and I don't want to say asking for it, but if you're a mainstream streamer that, has thousands of people who watch your stream every time, and you do your makeup and you wear a low cut shirt and there's a little bit of cleavage while you're not doing full nudity, aren't you kind of, I mean, how do you not expect it? There you go. I'm not blaming you. You're not asking for it, but how do you not expect it? I mean, I'm old and I to this day don't know what turns women on. But if some guy is streaming and he doesn't have his shirt on and he's got a six pack and all that, and then starts bitching that he's been sexualized because he's on a deep fake site, I mean, come on. And again, I'd be interested to see the numbers. I don't know if they have these, but if you're a female streamer who doesn't, and it is females, I'm sorry, it doesn't work the same way with men, and I'll explain in a minute. But if you're a female streamer who doesn't have an OnlyFans, like doesn't do nudes and stuff, but on stream sometimes you do maybe wear a low cut thing, or even on your Twitter you take very attractive pictures. Okay, I would be interested to see your demographic of viewers. What percentage of your viewers are men compared to women? I would bet it's a lot more men than women. And the reason it is because you're pretty. There's not a bunch of ugly chunkos out there who are pulling in, couple thousand viewers a night, even if they're not nude. It is They are watching you because you're attractive, and that's inherently sexualizing. And you know damn well that's why. And if you don't, I'm telling you, it's because you're pretty. Outside of streaming, the pretty girl at the bar, guys are buying you drinks because they're sexualizing you without your consent because you're pretty. And that is actually just how biology works. Is that, you see a pretty girl, you kind of sexualize them because that is, the goal is procreation, and you probably want to do it with a pretty person instead of an uggo. As for the deep fake thing, I think we've been cutting and pasting like celebrity heads or pretty faces on porn for fucking ever. And I think the problem is that this male streamer got caught. Um, because I mean, when I was 17, I can't tell you the amount of people I thought about in a sexual way. Did I have their consent? No, that's fucking creepy. When I was 17, we didn't have, um, we had cell phones, but you couldn't. Yeah, you could text, but it was like an analog cell phone. So that text cost 10 cents or 25 cents. And your dad got mad when you sent 1,000 because he was pissed you had $100 bill, something like that. On top of the $39.99 a month you had to pay. But I mean, I'll be honest. I didn't ask or text every girl and be like, hey, I think you're real pretty, and I'm gonna think about you in some sexual ways later. Is that okay? No, that's fucking weird. Okay, you just and what about your girlfriend? Like, if you have a girlfriend in high school, do you automatically get consent because she's your girlfriend to think about her in those ways? No. Maybe, I don't know. But again, I think it's because he got caught. And sucks for him. I mean, really sucks for him. Also, in his apology video, I think he's crying too. Which, bro, this is not something to cry about, okay? It doesn't make it any better. But he's got his girlfriend like behind his shoulder crying too. Which I understand why she's crying. Because, you know, your guy's into someone other than you. Um, but like I said, it is the problem that he got caught because I mean, what I'm saying is that I mean, we're guys, we are filthy, disgusting animals, and we sexualize just about everything. Um, and do you always give consent? No. Do you ever? If it's physically, yes, I would hope so. Because if you don't, that's a crime. And now we can discuss, is it a crime to, these deep fakes, which, man, I never thought I'd get to this point, but it's like, hey, I'd really like to see this person naked, but they don't do naked stuff. So I'll just get a computer to make it for me, and then I can think about it. That's kind of like the child thing, like if you have computer generated images of children, is that still a crime? Because they're not technically children, they're computer generated images. I mean, slippery slope. I think in that case it's a like if you're going to look at computer generated images of children, you're probably going to look at real images of children and you might act on it and that's a crime and but until you do, I mean, we can't really prosecute someone for something they might do, unless it is a crime like attempted murder. So then I guess it would be up to the legislature to make a crime called attempted child porn. Um, but I don't know if we make a law about like attempted adult porn. Like that's I mean, because then if you just sometimes are thinking like I'd really like to wring this person's neck, and if someone found out about that, I mean, do you go to jail for that? You're not gonna do it. You got a coworker that irritates you like no other, and you're like, sometimes I just want to. Bob is really getting on my nerves. You know. Now, if you share these thoughts in your head and somehow they came out, is it a crime then? Because it's not a crime now. Like if you just in your own head, you're like, you know what, Bob is really just, and I'd like to just sometimes fuck Bob. Not literally, but you know what I mean. That's not a crime. Now, if I start threatening Bob, that can be a crime, and if I act on it, that can be a crime. But I mean, if I'm watching videos that aren't necessarily real because they're not real, it's not it's not that person. It's not actually Susie. It's a computer generated image of Susie. I mean, is that a crime? I don't know. Maybe we could talk if it's like libel or slander. But my issue is that if you didn't know about it, because and if I'm wrong, like if you're a female streamer or someone like that who sells, does provocative things, but doesn't necessarily post nudes, and you think that, your following is like 80% female and 20% male, then I'm totally wrong. But it's kind of like, sideline reporters. A lot of them are pretty girls, like Erin Andrews. I'm not saying she's bad at her job, but she's not necessarily good at it. I mean, anyone could do that. We could literally have a voiceover of her. We don't have to show her on the sideline, but we do because she's pretty. And you can't tell me that there aren't people sexualizing her because of that. And I mean, even then, she the one that had like a hidden camera in her hotel room or something like that? That's a crime. Okay. But, just thinking that, hey, Erin Andrews is pretty, I'd really like to go out with her and kiss her. I, I mean, I don't know. That's kind of um, your shtick. Like, again, you're not bad at your job, but you can be easily replaced at it. Or it could just, why don't we just have the sideline report as a voiceover with her voice? Because not the horrible truth, but the truth of the matter is that guys who typically, I think more men watch football than women, want to see a pretty face. Kind of why cheerleaders are pretty. And I mean, we sexualize cheerleaders. Most of them are in bikinis. or something provocative, you know. They don't necessarily post nudes, but they do try and look very attractive. Like, so, I mean, again, part of me is like, duh. And the other part of me is like, if you're going to the extremes of paying for a pornography site that is, these deep fakes of these streamers, and some people are saying coworkers. No, not every streamer knows each other. Okay. But is that wrong? Morally, probably. Criminally, I don't know. But I mean, my question is just like, and I don't know if this is a seeking attention, which everybody's gonna bitch about this, but if you're a female and you're attractive and you're on TV or streaming, where we see you, and the majority of your viewers are male, do you really think that you're not being sexualized just a little bit? Like, do you really think they're only there for the literal content? Like, would you have the same viewership if you didn't have a camera? No. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I highly, highly doubt it. It's like Erin Andrews. I mean, I think she's a good sideline reporter, very professional, all that. I mean, she's a great addition to, I think, Sunday Night Football, whatever it is. But do we really need her if we don't have a camera on her on the sidelines? Like, is her voiceover of these sideline reports as effective as the one with the camera on her? Of course not. I mean, that's, you know, and I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just saying it is what it is. And what are you going to do? So, playing the victim, I get it. It can be maybe traumatizing that someone who's maybe internet famous is looking at these videos of you that aren't you. But, you know, some of it I kind of maybe think is fake outrage. Because, like I said, there's no way you didn't think. I mean, again, they're not watching your stream 100% for your content. And if they are, and if I'm wrong, I'm apologizing. But I need to see like evidence. Okay. I need to see Frumpy McGee streaming, pulling the same numbers, doing the same stuff. They're just frumpy. I don't think it's going to happen, man. That's just the way we're wired. We're drawn to pretty things. It's like women are drawn to diamonds and shiny gold and shit like that. Men are drawn to pretty things. And yeah, if you're pretty, you're probably going to get sexualized. And if you don't want to be, turn that cam off. Even if you're not posting nudes. And they're like, well, that's not fair of you to ask. Okay. It's not fair, but it's the way it is. I mean, I don't watch female streamers just because I watch Doc, okay? And I watch him because he's funny. And I mean, he backs up some of the shit he talks, but it's character, okay? And I don't know how many women watch Doc, but you don't think any of them are like, that guy's kind of cute. That's sexualizing. He's, now if there was a porn site that, had like Doc and Timmy and all those guys on there, I don't know how many hits that would get. Uh, but, I mean, if you're a pretty girl and you're streaming on the internet for thousands of people, mainly guys, and if it's not mainly guys, then I'm sorry I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. I think it mainly is, guys. you kind of had to expect this a little bit. Like, that's, again, I hate to break it to you, but that's why they watch you, is because you're pretty. That's why the girl at the bar gets drinks bought for her, because she's pretty. Because you're being sexualized. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's the way that it fucking works. And I think everybody, again, is up in arms because the dude got caught. That's when everything goes to hell, is when you get caught. Robbing banks isn't bad until you get caught. I mean, it's still morally bad. You know what I mean? Okay, but nobody really thinks twice about, you know, all this shit until you get caught or until it affects someone else. And it usually doesn't affect anyone until you get caught, especially with stuff like this. If you fantasize about someone and you keep that in your head, I mean, they don't know. Nobody else knows. It's kind of like your kink. If you're into like midgets and jumper cables, it doesn't really affect anyone until you kidnap a midget and hook it up to jumper cables. Then we got problems. If they're consenting midgets, I don't know if we have problems. People might judge you, yeah. And some of the midget community might be like, I can't believe they're doing that. But, then I'll be the one playing devil's advocate that's like, hey, man, some people have midget fantasies, and that's. Did you not see that coming? Well, no, that argument doesn't really work. But yeah, I mean, if that's your kink or you're a weirdo, yeah, go for it, man. Just don't harm any midgets. I'm just saying, like, be honest, because if I'm wrong about this, then I'm wrong, but I'm not. Female streamers, and I'm sorry that it doesn't work the same with men. Yeah, this is why we're different. This is not a two-way street. This is a one fucking way street. The majority of famous female streamers, if not all, are that way because they're pretty. Subjectively pretty. Okay? Like, generally, people think they're good looking. Some of them are more famous because they do have OnlyFans and do nudes. But the ones that don't have OnlyFans and don't do nudes, you're still pretty. Okay? And that's still what is drawn us to your channel. Again, there's not a bunch of frumpy chicks running around pulling thousands of views. And for you to sit back and be like, oh, I'm shocked by this, you're naive. And I'm sorry if you're naive. I guess then you're right. That is not an excuse. If you don't know, if you didn't get the memo, then yes, I can see how this is shocking to you. But I don't believe that for a second. I know you know damn well why those guys are there. And then it turns out that your content is entertaining and stuff. Great. But you know damn well what brought him in that room was your appearance. And then your content kept them. Or you're pretty enough that your content can suck and they still keep coming back. But again, there's not a ton of frumpy ones running around having thousands of views. I mean, shit, Twitch has a whole subgenre or genre of like hot tubs, bikinis, and beaches. They don't have like frumpy in a sweatshirt. That's not a thing. Frumpy in a sweatshirt playing Call of Duty, we got dudes to do that for us. All the gamer nerds with their glasses and pocket protectors. We're there because you're attractive. And I'm just the way it works, and I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. That's just how attraction works. Okay? And yet, you're being sexualized. And if you're going to put yourself out there for thousands of people to watch on the internet, some of them are going to sexualize you. Now, the problem is when someone is creating fake versions of you, like copying, pasting your face on a naked body, and then pleasuring themselves that. That's a problem. That's fucking creepy. Okay? That's weird. Also, if you're going to be on the internet with a bunch of wackos, did you not see it coming? Like, that's okay. I know that's, again, sounds horrible, but did you not see it coming? Like, duh. Someone's gonna, if you're on the internet, someone's gonna find something stupid you do. and they're going to try and cancel you, or someone's going to Photoshop your face onto a naked body. Yes, those people are degenerate assholes. And I'm sorry that that happened to you. You know, politicians all the time, they're in the public eye. And then you got, that D-lister Kathy Griffin's, got a picture of her holding Trump's head cut off. That could be traumatizing. I would argue it'd be more if he gave a shit. If some crazy ex of mine has got, pictures floating around the internet with her holding like my severed head, yeah, I'd probably be fucking scared too. I'd also have confidence I could take her down though. There's only like one or two that might be able to get the jump on me, but I have other ways around that. Hate mail. You're out there, people are gonna dislike you. You know, people are probably gonna maybe send you some threatening stuff. I think it kind of comes with the territory. And again, I'm not justifying it, but I think the shock, like, oh, I can't believe this. It's kind of like, well, duh. And if you really didn't know that something like that was going to happen, you should have talked to me because I could have told you that. You know, again, you go onto any weird website, not even weird, but like a bunch of ads are like the AT&T chick naked. People click on that. Probably not her. It's probably a deep fake. And trust me, little streamer girl or dude, she's a lot more popular than you are. She's on a national commercial. And I know your little internet stream is national, just like mine. Anyone in the world can see it, but more people see her than you. And yeah, I'm sure people sexualize her. And yeah, maybe she got breast implants for that. But she doesn't necessarily have an OnlyFans. If she does, drop a link. I'm kidding, but I'm sure people sexualize her. Well, hell yeah, they do. You've seen the ads. Like, you see what she looks like now. Look at Adele. People are like, whoa, you see what she looks like now on the silly little clickbait stuff. I think it's just that the dude got caught. And again, you can't tell me that you didn't know. Like, you don't have um, social media people like looking for this stuff, or you just assume that this was never going to happen. I don't know, man. It's a touchy situation, but it's also like, well, you're not necessarily asking for it, but duh. You of course you're going to be sexualized to a degree. And that's the whole point of you being on the internet. No again, there's no if it was equal and they weren't all like a collection of pretty or like shtick stuff, you know what I mean? Like maybe you're not pretty, but you do a bunch of crazy shit. Yep, I get that. Okay, but there's like I said, there's no frumpy girl in sweatpants, with Coke bottle glasses and balding sitting there like, let's go. Okay, it's a shtick, and people are gonna be like, what about Warzone Grandma? Which she's an older woman who streams Warzone. That's her shtick. It's a grandma who plays video games, and trust me, she doesn't have a ton of viewers like some of these other people. And yes, some of them go into sex work to make more money. But if you don't, and again, if you think that they're just there for your content, turn that cam off. Well, the cam is my content. There you go. You just proved my point for me. It's because you're pretty. And pretty people get sexualized, and that's just the way that it fucking works. Sorry. Nerds get made fun of. Pretty people get sexualized. Sorry. I'm sorry it happened to you. I think it's hilarious the way it happened. Like, again, dude, whoever, I can't remember the guy's name who got, I really can't remember who it is. I know a couple people complaining, but I can't really remember who got caught. But, dude, have you never heard of Pornhub? Like, it's free. more than you could ever watch. And I'm pretty sure you could find someone similar to the people you were paying to deep fake see. And again, at that point, if you're watching porn, are you really looking at the face? Probably not. Okay. So, yeah, this guy also, and I will, this is the part where I'll come to part of their defense. This guy's an idiot. Like, who watches porn and leaves the browser window like open? I mean, when you're done, the first thing you do is X out of all of it, okay? Or you haven't been doing it that long, and geez, when you're done looking at a Playboy, you don't just leave it laying on the bed. You shove it back under the mattress immediately. Holy hell. Who leaves the browser open? Also, who pays for it? Now, I know that some of you want to see specific, and that's why you pay for OnlyFans and you have like a favorite girl or whatever. I get that. And they have OnlyFans and you pay for it. But if you have a favorite girl who doesn't have an OnlyFans, my suggestion to you is figure it the fuck out without going to one of those deep fake websites. Find somebody who's similar looking. Get a new fetish. I don't know, man. Just so many ways this could have been avoided. And it would have never been a problem if you weren't dumb enough to not close your browser window. Like, he didn't even show his history. He just had the window open and alt tabbed, and it showed all 6 windows, and one of them was this porn thing. Like, dude, get it to fuck together. Like, you're ruining this for the rest of us, too. Some of us that were doing incognito crap, you just ruined this for all of us because you're incompetent like an asshole. God. But still, shame on you. And making your girlfriend sit behind you and cry while you confess to watching porn of people that really. Also, you were watching porn that wasn't real people. Fucking weird. I've never got anime and cartoon porn. That's weird. That's like too kiddie for me. Kids watch cartoons. Adults do too. But I don't watch Archer for the pornographic aspects of it. There are none, by the way, so don't jump out in there. But I'm not like cartoon porn or fake made up, like simulator porn game. That's weird, man. Even video games. I'll be honest with you guys. Nudity in video games. I'm an adult, so it doesn't like turn me on or something, but it sometimes it's a little. I won't say, yeah, maybe a little uncomfortable. It's weird. Oh shit. Excuse me. It's it's just it doesn't seem like it belongs. And I played a lot of video games, okay? Uh like I love Cortana cuz she's hot for a AI computer generated whatever. I'm not googling Cortana porn though. It's yeah, it's not real. Like, it's really not real. Like, porn's not real. We know that. If you guys didn't know that, I don't know what to tell you. It's not real. Okay? Think about camera angles and you'll totally understand porn. It's not real. Um, okay, it's absolutely not. It's a production, just like a movie. It is a movie. It's just with naked people in it, and making it's not real, and then you add someone who like a person who's not actually real. That makes it even weirder. But like let me think. What video games have boobs in them? Oh, the Witcher. That I love Witcher. I think it's a great game. Yes. Um, Yennefer's supposed to be pretty, and so is uh Triss. Triss? Trish. I don't know. And I can't remember if in the game you see both their boobs or just Triss's. I know you see Triss's. Okay. It is pixelated. Now, I haven't gotten this far on the new one, okay? But they are definitely video game boobs. And part of me is like, why? I mean, they're not good looking one. I mean, they're like it's like, boobs drawn by a sixth grader on notebook paper. That's not going to do anything. Yeah, I've got some color to them, but give the kids some colored pencils. And so it just, again, it's never been like a selling point for me. So I guess I don't see the the point of, cartoon anime or deepfake, because it's not them. You're looking at a computer generated image. Oh, there's a lot of airbrush. Yep, you're right too. There is a lot of airbrushing, so it might not be them at all. Maybe just stop watching porn. There you go. Solution. Dumbest thing I've ever said. It's just, yeah, like I said, it's touchy subject, but I think the fake outrage, and it may be genuine outrage, but like I said, the other part of me is like, well, duh. You didn't see this coming? I could have told you this. Like, the reason I started watching your stream or even glanced at it is because there was a pretty brunette. And then, I opened up it and you were annoying and I closed it. Or, I don't click on the blonde streams because I'm not super into blondes. I mean, fuck. And then the guys that watch for, content because, they're normally better than you are. No, they're not. Yeah, they are. That's why there's no MLG chicks. Unless maybe League of Legends or something dumb like that. That is a stupid game. Tommy used to play that all the time. All right. I think we've irritated people enough. Leave all your hate comments and I will respond to them personally out loud on the next podcast. Netflix, man. Netflix has lost a bunch of viewers or subscriptions. Let's put it that way. They've lost a bunch of subscriptions. And they think it's because people are sharing subscriptions. Like, well, just use my Netflix, okay, or my YouTube or my Hulu or Amazon, okay. Um, and they're implementing some new things so you cannot share your Netflix password. Like, you can still share it, just you know what I mean. Okay, you can't share your account, so you can't have like 15 people watching, your account. And people will be like, well, we'll just have one profile. And then everybody just signs in that profile. No, no. Netflix is getting smart. They're going to, I don't know if they're going to make you, but they're going to know like where your home is through IP. Okay. So they're going to say, hey, this is your home IP address. And anytime you sign in outside of there, you'll get like a striker. I don't know exactly what they're gonna do this. I kind of read it, but I didn't really. But the gist is, yeah, they're not gonna allow you to sign in from other IPs consistently while, like you're still doing it at home. Now they've said that you'll be able to um change locations or some dumb crap, like if you go on vacation or something. I promise you that is gonna blow up in their face. People are going to say I'm on vacation when they're not, or when they are on vacation and can't get into their Netflix, they're going to be pissed. And Netflix is giving you an option that you can add users, obviously for a fee. And then I guess that'll give you like another IP address. So if you have like 2 users, you can have 2 IPs. Which, yep, got it. Couple things though. Like I said, the traveling thing is not going to go well for them. Also, what if you're someone who uses like a VPN for maybe security reasons, or what a lot of people do is, if they want to watch like, because I guess there's certain shows on Netflix available in the UK that aren't available here and vice versa. So like some UK people use a VPN to VPN for, like Ohio so they can watch shows when they live in the UK and all that. How are you going to do that? Because every time you do a VPN, well, I won't tell Netflix that, but how are you going to do that? And let's actually talk about what the root problem is. Hey, Netflix, people, you're losing subscribers because your content sucks. I don't want to watch this woke BLM trans shit. I don't want you to shove it down my throat. And that's why you are losing subscribers, is because the crap you put out on your platform no one wants to watch. It started with like the little French dance girls that was basically child porn. And you guys like, oh no, it's just French. I don't care what the fuck it was. It was kiddie porn. You were sexualizing little kids. And fuck you. A lot of people stopped watching Netflix. I did. I will never subscribe to you again. Ever. Now, if someone gives me their password, Gypsy's done that, and I'm not sure I've used it. There's nothing on there I want to watch. And there's nothing on there that I want to watch that I can only get on Netflix. There were a couple things. Witcher. Might resubscribe. Or I'll probably just get someone else's password and tell you I'm on fucking vacation. Let's see. What else did I like on there? That's it. Witcher. And I could, to tell you the truth, I could do without Witcher if it meant I'm not giving you any of my money. So Netflix, you're losing subscribers not because people are password sharing. Because I hate to break it to you, everybody does it. Hulu, Amazon, literally everything. Okay? The only difference is your content is shit and nobody wants to watch that crap. That's why you don't have any subscribers. So take that with what you will. I know you won't listen to it because you're so embedded in dumbassery that you can't take it anymore. Let's do bookmarks real quick. What do you say? Bookmarks, are like tweets that I just find and then bookmark that I think are funny. Oh, I'll do quick. Should we do it quick or save it? No, I need something to talk about later. So, this is what we're going to do. We're going to wrap this up. I appreciate everyone watching tonight. If I piss you off, good. If I didn't, also good. I don't care. I think all of you should like and subscribe. I think you should follow the socials. You can yell at me there. Dave does. And then you won't miss any more chances to get overtly angry or overtly happy. Maybe I make you happy. Maybe you're like, hell yeah, brother. Or you're like, fuck no, sir, that's just wrong. Or maybe you're in the middle and you just like listening to me talk. Either way, I do care, but only to the point that you're listening. No, I care. Or I wouldn't do this. If I didn't care, I wouldn't do this. But yes, I do want some people to think about this. And again, about the deep fake stuff, before you just go to, your corner and spaz out, I really want you to think long and hard about this. Well, no, because people are spazzing will probably be Democrats, and you guys don't think about fucking anything. So, no problems. Okay, let's do this again tomorrow. And we'll do another daily dose tomorrow. Ooh, hey, we made it to February. Now, we already talked about that, and you just said can't do it, so we won't. But I appreciate everyone listening. Do the whole, like I said, like, subscribe, follow thing. Tell your friends and family. If you want to piss off your family, share this podcast with them. Or if you want to bond with them, share this podcast with them. Or if you just want to give me more reviews and likes, which I would really appreciate, do that. No Higgins this week. I don't think he's still on his cruise, enjoying he doesn't deserve vacation, but Mandy definitely does. So I don't know. Maybe we can get him to jump in for a live, um, like cut. But I don't know. Hey, thanks for listening. Until next time. Bye.